Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wannabes podcast. I'm not running the show tonight, verbally. So, who am I going to choose? You know what? Luke, I choose you.
Oh, thank God, I can't handle that pressure.
Back in the host chair. It's been a minute. Ooh, the power actually feels kind of nice. But yeah, welcome everybody to the Wannabes podcast. I am your host today.
I have the ability to shut him up whenever I want, though.
That's true. And you know what? If you want to get a little dynamic, that'd be sweet too. I'm just saying, we have those options. I am your host, Luke. That's Morgan. She's already annoyed with me. That's Anthony. We apologize. Shit's been going down. We've had a couple things going on. We've been a little busy doing other things.
I was traveling for 2
So
weeks.
sad.
So.
But we didn't stay away on purpose. There's also like nothing out that I think we really even like give a shit about. I saw the companion, and you know, I saw that's no.
The only thing that I really, really want to see outside of what we're reviewing tonight is honestly Mickey 17. I really want to see Mickey 17.
Yeah, I got some interest. I'll give you that.
I do remember you talking about that. I was talking about that. Actually.
I think it's intriguing, and I kind of want to review it.
The only bummer for me is that we didn't get to the Wolfman, but like we'll get to that eventually. I'm sure. I'll push that. But today we are doing Captain America: Brave New World, and I mean, I think I speak for everyone when there was at least a little bit of excitement going into this. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. This is the most hype I've been for a Marvel movie in a while. I'm just yeah. I'll get into why later, but yeah.
I would have been more hype if I didn't see the trailer.
Funny enough, watching trailers made me kind of want to see it a little bit more, actually, because beforehand I didn't fully care. But then the more I thought, like, wait, this actually looks kind of interesting.
I have my reasoning. Don't worry, I will not forget to voice it because, as I already messaged you guys, I might be a hot take tonight. I don't know. We're gonna see how you guys end up feeling about the movie.
I put it out there for a teaser on my socials. It's like Morgan says she's got a hot take.
I got opinions, and we'll dive into it, but I don't want to distract us from the couple trailers we want to talk about.
Yeah, so just a little bit of news. There's been a lot of trailers that have come out. I didn't want to spend too much time on news. I'm sorry I pulled that decision. However, I did allow for 2 trailers. Anthony, take it away.
All right. Let's start with, let's start with the non-Marvel, actually. The one that I'm definitely more excited for. Jurassic World Rebirth dropped its first trailer about 2 weeks ago, actually, and then stupidly dropped practically the same trailer at the Super Bowl. Why the fuck would you do that? Seriously. What were you thinking? I got nothing. But what do we think of Jurassic World Rebirth?
Well, first things first, they need to stop dropping the trailers before the fucking Super Bowl. It's supposed to be a Super Bowl trailer. You need to stop doing that. Stop doing that. Same with the commercials, too.
You know, it's just the whole thing. Like, I think we've said this because we used to do shows about the Super Bowl and like about the trailers we would see, and obviously we didn't do one this year because we got hardly anything. And it's really disappointing. It's like if y'all literally just could have held your horses for like a week or two, like you could have had some like really good buzz over your stuff. It's like ruining our marketing. They're expensive as fuck, and you're literally suffocating the hype of your trailer by releasing it early.
100%. Like, I mean, I already had mentioned off camera that I really didn't care too much about the Super Bowl anyway. So like the trailers and the commercials, they've kind of been lackluster the last few years anyway. They dropped the trailers before the game even happened. So they're literally, if I have no interest in the game, you're giving me no incentive to tune in at all. I'm just saying.
Facts.
Sure. Also, what the hell? Why has lately trailers come out like 5 to 4 months before movie release? Why haven't it like practically a year before? I missed that.
Yeah, there used to be like 2, maybe 3 teasers, and then like two actual trailers.
Bring back for me like the 15 to 30-second teasers, like The Matrix did,
and a lot of TV spots.
You know, bring those back to me. Give me those a whole year in advance to be. Just give me the title, and I can be like, "Oh fuck, this is coming," and I'm interested.
Yeah, no, it's weird. But to answer your question, Anthony, first of all, I still need to watch Dominion. All right, I've been slacking. I want to watch it. I really, really do.
You never got to Dominion, huh?
No, but this one, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, and it's because like, Jurassic World 2, I really enjoyed. Thank you. Fallen Kingdom, I really enjoy a lot, and it's
Let's go.
mostly because of the ending, because it's like a straight horror film. This one actually seems like it's doing that the whole movie, maybe, where it's just action and the dinosaurs are like fucking kind of scary. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibe where they
Mhm.
might be going with this, if that's the case. And this is another trilogy? Question mark.
It might be.
Okay,
I
so yeah,
mean,
I'm cool with it. Scarlett
probably.
Johansson, whoever else. No, wait, actually, who else? Who else is in
Marshall
this movie?
Ali.
Marsha, I'm not even gonna do it because I'm not gonna be able to do it right now. But yeah, cool cast. The trailer looks fun. Let's go.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. For me, and I don't know what it was about the trailer and seeing her in the trailer. It could have just been the couple scenes we got of Scarlett Johansson. She felt hella out of place for this franchise for me.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that when they announced her.
Yeah, obviously we have had very big names in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. Now, I
Mhm.
don't know why. I think just like she's they're giving me this weird like Black Widow meets Lara Croft vibe when I see her in the trailer, and I hope that's just the sake of not having a lot of the character yet and not knowing her yet. But I don't know. I
Maybe.
I didn't fully vibe with what I saw of Scarlet so far.
I
I
mean,
don't
I'm
hate
not.
it. I don't hate it at all.
I'm personally not the biggest Scarlet fan, so that's why I'm just kind of like whatever.
She's iffy.
Hmm. For me, I have two things. Like for one, it feels like this movie came kind of fast. Actually, I don't want to say they're rushing anything, but I'm like, damn,
I
we're already
also kind of
here.
agree with that. I was surprised that we were already getting a trailer.
Hmm.
Well, I haven't seen Dominion, but from what I've heard about it, it's not the best. So maybe this was something that they were planning like kind of the whole time, and Dominion
And
it
that's
was more or
possible.
less a throwaway to kind of get into this one. I'm just spitballing here. Don't take anything I say as
I
gospel.
wouldn't call Dominion a throwaway, as I think,
Mm-mm.
and obviously this is what a lot of films get hate for, is I think Dominion was more of a setup film than it was a throwaway film. It's
Because
setting up for the next like
well, that would
part.
make sense. That would make sense then if this is going to start to become kind of episodic here. You know, that it sounds like shouldn't say sounds like it seems like there is a plan in place. And if you guys are right, Dominion was step one. Now we're going to step two.
Funny enough, I have the complete opposite opinion because Dominion honestly felt like maybe a kind of a bit weak, but I still liked it. Closure for the franchise in a
No,
way.
I don't disagree.
For the franchise or that trilogy?
I think personally
Franchise.
for me,
Okay.
it felt like it for that. I think it's because of the soft ending it gave it. And there,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, they have it where they can bring it back. Dinosaurs are in the entire world now. And for me, Dominion, it wasn't the best Jurassic World film,
No,
but
it wasn't.
I didn't hate it. I had a very good time with it. I mean, give me big dinosaurs on the big screen. I'm usually going to have some sort of enjoyment.
So you're
But
talking this.
like,
Go ahead.
that aside though, like I did feel like it was setting up for the next step. Because I was like they're going to do more. The dinosaurs are finally here in the world. I feel like that's something that like we have been asking for a while now. Um
I was asking for dinosaur human hybrids.
No, no,
yeah,
no, no, no,
not
no. I'm
yet.
glad they never went that way.
At
Real
least
time.
not yet.
For
We'll see what
God's sakes.
happens.
Don't you.
But no, it's
Uh,
one of those things where I think Dominion was a setup for this, because this now gives me vibes. Obviously, this gives me a little bit more horror-y, more like fighting dinosaur vibes than what I am. I've mentioned
Less
them before.
science, more explosions.
Yeah, yeah, they're Michael Baying it a little bit, and you know, I don't love that, but I don't hate it. I guess it just kind of depends on the story we're gonna get, because we don't know what the story is yet. We
He
mentioned right before
actually,
we went live, we have a lot of questions from this trailer.
yeah. Well,
well,
he might be spot on, man. I gotta watch Dominion first, and I promise I'll do that soon, so I know what the fuck's going on going
so
into this one. But I think you might be the closest one, man. That they put a nice little bow on the franchise, okay, and now it's a fucking reboot.
I
With Scarlett
wouldn't be
Johansson.
like if they wanted to make more stuff, sure. But I think following after Dominion, I'm like interesting because I know the synopsis and everything of this movie.
You just said
But
it. Please do.
what was I gonna say? But for one, I wanted to bring this up that I am a major I'm so big into Jurassic Park. I'm so biased
as
that
well.
like I'll admit Dominion isn't the best, but I still
Mhm.
like it. It's
Same.
like you really have to fuck up hardcore to make me not like a Jurassic Park movie. You really have to. Does this movie look like it's gonna do that? I wouldn't say that because for one, if you see in the trailer where the Rex is attacking the kid in the river, like they're finally adapting a scene from the OG book that was omitted, that was kind of sort of done in 3 with the Spinosaurus on the river.
Yeah,
But
that's
my
very
biggest
familiar
questions
to me.
on the story is the fact that, like, are they insinuating this is another island where they did research before the dinos made it to Nublar?
Yeah.
And there's like they say like these dinos, like we couldn't bring them. Like these were the worst of the worst. Like there's something in there that doesn't even look like a dinosaur. It looks like a fucking alien or some shit.
Human.
I really
Yeah.
hope those aren't Spinosauruses because I miss my Spino. But if they're going in this direction of like these ones like we couldn't let in the park, then maybe they can tackle something that they sort of alluded to in Jurassic Park 3 with the kind of idea that a lot of these dinos they have, like they were cloned differently, so some may look and behave differently. Like considering, you see pterodactyls in Jurassic
They had
World.
gene splicing happening.
Yeah, they definitely did. It's something that's something I really wish the franchise dove into because it would explain
Mhm.
maybe more about the Spinosaurus itself, actually. But like I was gonna say earlier, because you see pterodactyls in the franchise and they have a certain look, but then you look at the ones in JP3, how they're bigger, seemed a bit more bloodthirsty, teeth like and stronger. Like, okay, these things, even like behind the scenes, they say like InGen made these, but these are like genetic monsters, quote unquote, based off of a dinosaur that existed once. And I was like, yeah, I kind of wish they would play more into that actually, and maybe they could here, but you never know.
Like the first batch was the guess, and
Mhm.
now as they're learning more about dinosaurs, they can be a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, and like I always wish they dove into that because again, if you look at the Velociraptors from like the first 2 movies, then you look at the one from JP3, there's a very different look to them and
They
even
might.
behavior.
They very well might.
You know what also could happen? This isn't necessarily a reboot, if you will say. This could very well just be happening. Like we have insert new organization here or something, right?
Sure, yeah.
That
Well, I mean, I imagine it's definitely in the future. I
it
just
could
wonder how much.
It is.
it is in the future, but at the same time, it could also be happening at the same time of other timeline, like of a movie we've already seen. Like they could be like side by side events. This is just what's happening in the other world. I
Right.
personally don't love but don't hate that idea.
What?
I think of like shit, what is it called? I think it's like not Land Before Time. It's Land of the Lost or something. What shit? No.
The Lost World or Land of the Lost?
No.
Journey to the
It's
World?
it's not even a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World related.
Mhm.
There's like an old movie that I watch and I've talked about on the show before and I'm blanking on it. I blank on its name every time.
Oh wait, I know what you're talking about now,
Um,
and I can't. I remember
yeah.
you were dying to figure out what it was called.
Yeah, and it's killing me and I did find out and now I forgot it again. But anyway, like this is in that movie, they went to an alternate dimension where people were living alongside dinosaurs. Like they were beasts of burden and that sort of thing. Like I am almost curious to see a Jurassic World movie that's kind of like that, but I don't think that would hold up with the fandom of the franchise because we need more action. Right? Not that there wasn't action in that one as well, but I still want those vibes. I want some area where people are understanding that there is almost like that this dinotopia, right? Not everywhere is going to be. It's going to have those dangers, and I really want to see humankind struggle with the shift of not being the highest one on the food chain anymore. We got dinos after your asses. Good luck.
So for one, I would like to say that this movie takes place 5 years after Dominion, but I'm not going to go deeper into what the synopsis is, but this is after Dominion. 2, I want more horror in Jurassic Park if I'm being real. Where's Jurassic Park
too.
Survival? I need that game trailer to come back out again.
And now, have we talked about what they're doing, or do we not want to talk about that?
Let's leave that out of it because I kind of do dive into this shit a lot, actually.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we do. But Jurassic World Rebirth, I mean, I'm not excited. I am, but I'm very cautious about this one. Something just feels off. But I do trust Gareth Edwards. Yeah, that's the best way. Something just feels a little off.
Right, it is Gareth Edwards. The movie's gonna be sweet. What are you talking about? It's the dude that made the first Godzilla. Get out of here. Come on.
Yeah, but he did have only 8 minutes of Godzilla.
Huh?
he did only have 8 minutes of Godzilla, and that was kind of a letdown.
I do want to say he also made Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and the creator.
He literally just said Rogue One. Anyway,
I'm excited.
Anyway, all right.
Most excited I've been for a Jurassic Park movie in a long time.
Okay. Next up, let's talk about the Fantastic Four.
Not in four stick.
Not Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. So who do we got? Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, we got Joseph Quinn. Ah, he's a bastard.
That is.
I'm sorry.
Quinn.
I'm still hurt. I'm still heartbroken.
And who else?
Who the fuck is playing? What's her face?
Sue.
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm blanking on her name. We have Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby.
That's it. And
I literally looked at
the we have Eben Moss, Backrack.
He's the only person I actually don't know.
Yeah, likewise. And that's probably why they made him the Thing, because you're gonna be okay if you don't actually see his face. Honestly though, the Thing looks great.
He's in The Punisher.
I think which one? The show?
Yeah, the show. He was in 12 episodes. He was David Lieberman.
I'm gonna have to check that out again. But I'm excited. I'm excited because it looks good. It does look good.
It does,
I think the trailer looks very well. I think the world looks amazing. I love the cool little souped up car that they have. Ben Grimm, the Thing, looks fantastic. It's in the trailer. Galactus is in this movie. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, this feels like they're doing it right, but I mean, we'll see. It's tough. The Fantastic Four is tough.
So thoughts.
Who goes first?
Go ahead.
No, actually, no, you go first.
My immediate thought is because from obviously the most recent trailer, they're already a family. They've already had they've had their abilities, right?
Yeah.
We're not getting the origin story, which thank God.
I mean,
We've
it's
already
in there.
seen it. Like we see it, but we aren't forced. The whole movie isn't the origin story. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. My vibe is they're gonna fucking lose to Galactus. And their fight with Galactus is what's going to open up and all the alternate dimensions, and that's how they're gonna get over into the world where everything else is fucking happening in Marvel.
Probably.
I agree with you on that, but I disagree with you that they're gonna lose to Galactus. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like the loss to Galactus is how it's gonna happen.
This is what we do with all of our really cool villains in the MCU: is we kill them at the end of the movie and then we don't ever talk about them ever again. Go ahead, Anthony.
Unless you're Thanos.
For me, it looks fine. I'm not that excited for it. I'm gonna be real with you. I think Thing looks good, but the eyebrows kind of weird me out. I know it's a comic thing, but I'm like, I think I'm used to the old movies where they didn't do that. I think that's the best he ever looked in a movie so far.
Practical Thing with Michael Chiklis still holds up.
That holds up. That's amazing.
Very good. But I mean, like that compared, especially compared to Fan Four Stick Thing and this one, like that CGI has come a long way, I guess.
Yep. Johnny Storm. Lies! I'm sorry. I'll never forgive Joseph Quinn for that not being his real hair. But his effect as the Human Torch actually looked really good, actually.
The guitar playing was real though.
Okay, I'll give him that, but he was sexy, and since he wasn't that sexy. Vanessa, hang on, I had the trailer up again as well too. Not the biggest looks at Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal's, at least not their powers full on, because I mean, how do you fuck up Invisible Woman, I suppose? But I did want to see some stretchy. I want to see some stretchy Pedro, actually. I wanted to see how that would look in the movie, actually.
Well, she's a world ender too. Like that's the thing about it that kind of annoys me when they do Sue Storm is she's a legit world ender. She can do some shit. She can fuck shit up. I have yet to see a good representation of that. I mean, yeah, she goes invisible. Like you said, that's easy. Everything else I need to see because if she wanted to, she's fucking up the other three members of the Fantastic Four.
I will say I'm really excited to see Galactus because that's who I wanted to be the next big bad after Thanos, but then they went Kang. And then they decided to go Doom, who I think actually might show up in this movie.
They're going to lose to Galactus because Galactus is going to be part of the next phase and still be the big bad.
See, I want to believe you, but what he just said about Galactus is what I was saying about Dormammu when
Doctor Strange,
Doctor Strange came out. And he mind gamed his way out of that one. So like it's not going to surprise me. The point is Galactus is going to show up and we're never going to see him again.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because I thought that should have been a good next level Thanos thing, but then they went multiversal,
Yeah, man.
which has been more confusing, if anything, actually, now when I think about it. Like,
The multiverse?
yeah, because when I really think about it, I wish they went with a self-contained multiverse where, hey, let's get different actors to play, you know, Tony Stark and stuff. Like, what if you got Tom Cruise as Tony Stark in another world?
Yeah.
But as much as I do like seeing old people reprise their roles, it becomes like, damn, so everything is just like connected. Like, even shit that you kind of don't want to be. Like, as much as I love Across the Spider-Verse, like, to think that, damn, this also exists in the same world as the PlayStation Spider-Man games is like,
Yeah, dude.
sometimes just stay contained. Like, be in your own world rather than trying to cross and everything. I know Easter eggs and shit is like that is fun, but it's gotten confusing and everything.
Nah, I agree with you. I felt as soon as Spider-Man crossed over to the MCU was kind of when I started crying about this shit too. Because like they don't have. I mean, I'm glad that they're mixing, but like they don't have to.
They don't have to, but I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna pretend I didn't have fun with it or I didn't love it.
That's true. It all culminated in the way that I wanted it to, and I got to see all the Spider-Man on screen. So like, if they keep doing shit like that, and obviously it's got to make fucking sense, but like, you know, this movie is definitely gonna set up what's coming down the line. That's why I believe Hi Galactus, bye Galactus.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least he's not a space cloud this time, even though that was in a way kind of cool.
Shot, though.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Like I said before in a previous episode of the podcast, they should have did the Ghidorah thing. Like, like Galactus' body, Galactus is in there, but he's surrounded by that space storm.
Yep, that would have been sick.
But for what it's worth,
Silver Surfer is in this movie too. FYI.
Yeah, they didn't show that though, so that's cool though.
Question though.
What's your question?
Just because I haven't read comic stuff, is there any connection to Galactus and Doctor Doom? Because we know that's a big bad coming.
Yes and no, but I mean the biggest connection for them is the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's actually it. Is the fact that they're both mostly dealing with the Fantastic Four.
Okay, I was just curious. I think my biggest takeaway from Fantastic Four, the new trailer, obviously, like I think it's gonna be good. I like that we aren't going through like a massive origin story all over again. Like we are, but we aren't. We're getting the sped up version. But my biggest takeaway is that Pedro Pascal is just still hot as fuck. So
I want this to be good. I really do want this to be good. The original Fantastic Four movies have a special place in my heart. I know they're not good, but like they're fun because that's what we did back then when we made superhero movies. We just made fun movies. Now Fan4Stick doesn't exist, so I mean, like,
we can forget about that one.
I expect it to be better than the original ones. How much better, I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be better than those.
Yeah, I will also always hold a place in my heart for those old ones because I really like Rise of the Silver Surfer. Like, genuinely, I'll have a lot of fun with that movie.
Yeah, I had fun with that one, yeah.
The nicest thing I'll say about Fan4Stick is that teaser trailer was actually spectacular. The teaser trailer.
You know what I don't want? I don't want the Fantastic Four in this movie to fall into the same hole that the originals did or that the X-Men does, where it became the Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm show, or it became the Wolverine show.
That's
you know
fair.
What I mean?
That's
There's 4 fucking members, and like I just said, Sue, if she wanted to, is fucking up everybody. So there you go. Give everybody else a little bit of shine. And you can do more probably dialogue-wise with Mr. Fantastic than probably power-wise, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way to make the stretchiness look at least kind of cool.
I imagine so. Maybe take some inspiration from Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, their CG in this one will look better than what we got in Captain America.
Anything else you want to say about this trailer before I move on so Morgan can let the dogs out?
Well, all I would like to say is that I'm still upset that Joseph Quinn is not as sexy as I thought he was, and that's my takeaway.
Right. Morgan?
Not yet. Like, yes and no, but none of my thoughts that I still have. Like, I need to see more before I want to like speak on them. You know what I mean? 100%. I do have pretty high hopes for this. I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I am a big fan of Fantastic Four. I like what I'm seeing. I actually like the chemistry that we've got a glimpse at in the trailer. So that makes me feel good. That gives me some hope for this film, is that we're having good chemistry amongst the 4. So yeah, I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like. And Pedro Pascal's still hot as fuck. So
Joseph Quinn is not. So lucky fucking you.
Both of you, my God,
dude,
chill out. You
Pedro
both need new seats.
Pascal is one of my daddies. That is all I have to say.
All right, moving
Eddie
on.
Munson
So,
was sexy.
now that we have gotten past that, let me get these two back on track here. Jesus Christ. Can cut the tension with a knife. Anyway, we all went and saw Captain America, Brave New World, the newest film from Marvel, the newest Captain America, the newest Falcon, I dare say. Yeah, let's get into it. Morgan, box office. This movie made money.
It did. So first things first, the budget of this film was 180 million. And if I get on down into my box office notes, here we go. So in the United States and Canada, the film was released alongside Paddington in Peru. No one cares. And was projected to gross 80 to 94 million from 4,105 theaters in its 4-day opening weekend. So there's a tracking service called Quorum. They reported early box office estimates for the film in mid-January of 2025, projecting that it would actually earn 86 to 95 million during opening weekend and more than 100 million across the 4-day weekend from Valentine's Day to President's Day. So, also, just a side note, this was similar to the Winter Soldier's 95 million opening weekend in 2014. Further tracking, reported later in January, similarly indicated an opening of at least 90 million. So that they got raised a little bit to the minimum being 90. So the film grossed 40 million on its opening day, including an estimated 12 million from Thursday night previews. It went on to debut to 88.5 million and a total of 100 million over the 100 million over the 4-day frame, topping the box office.
So it hit its mark.
Yeah, it hit where they were expecting. So
that's cool.
As of February 18th, Captain America: Brave New World has grossed 100 million in the United States and Canada and 98.3 million in other territories for a worldwide total of 198.3 million. It has been reported by Deadline Hollywood that the film needed to make 425 million worldwide to break even, taking into account the production budget of 180 million as well as marketing costs. So you guys can do the math there.
I can see.
I refuse to do math.
I think it'll break even.
Probably over it's not just box office that they need to make money. It's the merchandise. It's
right,
when things release, when they finally release the DVDs, the limited DVDs. It's going to make its money back. I'm pretty sure it is. So
100%. And it totally justifies its existence as far as the amount of money that it'll bring in. So sweet. Mm-hmm. I want to see the movies do good again. I think that's just where we're at right now. I think if they, and we'll get into it, but as they keep rolling these movies out, like Thunderbolts will probably make a little bit more, Fantastic Four will probably make a little bit more, but that's if they're good.
Looks like a better movie than this one was. So
if they're good, then that should be the case, and that's what I want, because it's been a minute since we've just been like, yeah, like these are good. Remember when we just were like, yeah, the movie's good. Like, what do you want? Remember those days?
Yeah.
So I think this is a good way for them to get back to it with the initiative and where the story's going. So cool. Keep the rollout going. You're doing good. Leave the multiverse alone.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But yeah, anyway, so thank you for that. Let's get into it. How do we feel about? Do we want to start with just Cap in general? You want to start with Cap? How do you feel about Anthony Mackie?
He's
more
fine.
You first.
He's all right.
Morgan, how do you feel about Anthony Mackie's Captain America?
So hold on. First things first, I want to come out and state this before we dive into my personal feelings I have with this film. First things first, this is not the worst film I've ever seen. This is not the worst Marvel film. It's not a bad film, but it's not a great film in my opinion. It's all right. As for Sam is still struggling with being Cap. Not luckily as much as we were seeing in the show.
I didn't get that much. He's pretty much Captain America now.
No, and there are some moments of struggle. You know what I mean? But I'm happy it's really, really toned down since the show. But I don't mind it. It's definitely a darker. I kind of had this darker vibe for Captain America with Sam. And I think that's mostly because of the filmmaking style. Oh, shush. That's not how I meant it.
I know.
Um,
How could I not?
That's only when she whispers it, dude.
Fuck off, both of you. So, I don't know. I don't dislike Sam as Captain America. You know, he's really starting to make his grounds. I do have fun with him obviously still having his wings and being able to use those in combat with the shield. I do think it's fun. It's exciting. It's a fun new take on the fighting style of Captain America.
Mhm.
So for the most part, I don't really have a lot of issues with Sam as Cap.
Okay. My guy.
Well, I love Sam. I've liked Sam since he first showed up. Falcon was one of the reasons I was like,
Sure.
yeah, I want to see Winter Soldier. Falcon looks cool. And so it's like, he was cool. Papa Doc turned over a new leaf from rap battles to being an Avenger, even though his real name is Clarence.
This guy's an Avenger.
His real name is Clarence.
I'm sorry, like that's forever gonna be a meme now. Like it has to
Oh,
be.
absolutely.
Absolutely has to
It's
be.
always gonna be funny. I like him a lot in this movie. Going back to what you said about him struggling, like I didn't watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I like that the struggle he goes through is just like this kind of imposter syndrome, just like, can I really live with Steve? Like, am I in over my head?
If
Should
you
I have
like
taken that
that,
dance?
if you like that, you should go watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because it's like dialed up by 100.
Yeah, well, I'm actually okay with that not being a major thing. Like, no, embrace the fact that Steve gave you that shield for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
and you are wielding it amazing. I love his moves as Cap. He got moves, he got flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and then flying Cap. Oh, so cool. Me and Raven was in that theater, hype watching him go down, watching shit go down. I love Cap. I love Sam. So. Yeah, he had. I wouldn't say he's been one of my favorite characters in the MCU, but he's been a character that I really like. Like I always like seeing.
I like his
good rapport with
dialogue a
of
lot
characters.
usually. Usually he has a
Yeah.
lot of fun banter.
Mhm.
I think that was a little more dialed back given like I think they try to give him a little bit more of a serious take. Not that he has it all the time. But he did always have a little bit more of this like you could connect to Sam a little bit better because he's a guy who happened to be in the military and got the Falcon suit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's always
And
been
now
a pretty relatable guy in terms of how he talks to people.
And now he's being thrown into the situation like I'm Captain America now. So like the pressure is on, and like I gotta do good considering like I'm black too. So there's that. And also, oh shit, I lost my point. I was gonna say. Oh, I really like he doesn't have the serum. I love that. I
Mhm.
love that he feels like the underdog variation of Cap, but he still pulls through. That's something I respect that a lot, especially considering what happens at the end of this movie. So
I mean-
Sam Wilson as Captain America, I love actually.
Well, that's kind of the whole point, right? Like that was Steve Rogers' whole bag too. That's why he gets picked for the super serum, is because he is the underdog and he is a dude that will keep fighting. I enjoy the first fight scene in this movie, the first major fight scene that Cap has, because they point that out. Like I think they say like his ribs broken or whatever, and he's like, "I'm good. Like
Yeah,
I got to fight you." So I dig that, and I really dig how they lean into the mythos of Captain America. I literally just had this debate with a coworker because there's a rumor going around that Denzel Washington might be Magneto. I don't think there's any validity to it, but even if there is, and he was like, I don't know how I feel about that because Magneto and blah blah blah. I was like, dude, it doesn't matter because that's how you can have Spider-Man be of a different ethnicity and shit like that. It's not about what their skin color is. It's do they have the spirit and do the things that the character is supposed to do. That's why you have multiple Spider-Man.
Can
and
they
multiple
make
Caps
me
and stuff
believe
like
that they are this character?
It's
Yep.
all about being an underdog. That's all it is. And Sam, especially because he doesn't have the serum, and I love that they point that out, is absolutely that underdog because he's not supposed to be able to do these things. He's not supposed to be able to fight these people like this. But he has all the gadgets and the wings and the just I'm not gonna go down attitude. It's fucking sweet. I do really love his portrayal as Captain America in this movie. However, some of the dialogue that he has is so fucking cheesy.
Oh,
Cheesy. Couldn't stand it sometimes. I don't know
I
why
agree.
the fuck they made him say some of the things that he says, but it's just like it's weird vibes, and it's usually when he's dealing with Isaiah and that kid. Everybody else, the dialogue is pretty much what I expect from the type of movie that I walked into. But when it's him and that kid and Isaiah,
Torres.
it's like a completely different movie. Not that I have a problem with it, but it did throw me off in a couple points because he's like he's a little too quippy for me. It's unnecessary.
I'm gonna be
considering the
honest with
situation
you.
that he's in.
I agree because there's moments where they're acting like really buddy, which is fine, but that isn't like the dialogue we've ever seen Sam do in other Marvel films. So it felt a little like out of character, even though like normally I probably wouldn't question it. It felt very different. But I also want to say, and this is going to be a gripe I get into later, is the poor ass writing of this film. There's a lot of glaring issues with the writing, and I think sadly the dialogue has a big part to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, there's a couple story things that don't
Lazy
make a
writing.
whole lot of sense, but yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
That's just lazy writing.
But Anthony Mackie, I think, does more than enough to hold up with this film.
Mhm.
Him and I'm gonna get to him later, but him and somebody else are definitely the reasons why you fucking watch this movie 100%.
So for me, when you guys talk about that dialogue he has with Torres and Isaiah, I think the way I look at it is I'd like to imagine that Sam has been cool with a lot of Avengers, but I would hydrate.
I don't have anything. Thank you, though. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ramp.
Come on, bro. You do this every time.
Wait, I'm not a thirsty guy right now. What do you want me to say?
I kind of personally like to imagine maybe the reason the dialogue is different with those guys is because maybe Sam's a bit more open and closer, especially with Isaiah, considering how far he's willing to go to help his friend in this movie. And then maybe he and George is like managed to become real cool, maybe in a different way than he did with Avengers, except for Bucky.
That's for me. It's like the limo scene. Like, where did that come from? Why are they talking like that? When did we establish any of this? All right, whatever. And then it just kind of moves on. Just things like that.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Because I like the dialogue that he has with Isaiah, and I love their relationship and shit like that. And the relationship that he has with Yusef Perez, the new Falcon, I do enjoy it. It's not throughout the whole movie. It's not every time they talk to each other. Just a couple times where I'm like, all right, you're quippy now. Why?
Yeah, I just like to think of it like, hey, I'm with these guys, so maybe I'm just gonna be this way. It's kind of like when you take an introvert and put him with his actual friends versus with maybe a group of people who maybe you more work with or something.
Yeah, well, even towards the villains, and it's few and far in between, but there are a couple of moments in there where I'm like, all right, it does kind of feel like a cheesier movie, and then it goes back to being like Winter Soldier-esque. You know what I mean? So I not the biggest gripe, but it's just something where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why you said that.
Well then.
So I'm gonna move on. This one should be kind of quicker. New Falcon. How'd you guys feel about him?
I like him. He's fun.
Morgan, you shut all the way up. I can't fucking stand you.
No, let me finish. He, for my personal preference, was a bit of a really like uppity chatty guy. I'm not hating on him. It makes sense. He's really excited about
that's not even what I'm talking about. I'll get there in a second. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
No, continue. Finish your thought.
I actually liked him. I had fun with him. I think they could have toned back on like the really hyperactive chattiness at times. But I am excited, especially like after him going through his like there's a moment where he kind of, for the sake of spoilers for people in chat, he kind of fucks up at one point and he's kind of paying the consequences. Like seeing him in that moment and how he's conversing with Sam makes me excited to see him in the next film for him and to see him really take on the mantle in a newer perspective of taking on Falcon. So I really like Joaquin Torres as a character, and I'm excited to see his growth.
That's Joaquin Torres.
Yeah.
All right.
I enjoyed him too. I mean, something about loudmouth smartasses just like speak to me. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know either. I have no idea.
Okay.
I just gravitate. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe something, but one day you'll find out.
Yeah. You guys let me know.
You even got Kitty coming out in chat calling me out.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like, I'm just kind of. I was like, I don't know what it is, but anyway, he was fun. I think there's certain points where he does border on annoying, especially like when he does end up getting hurt. I'm not going to get into how or anything, but like that whole thing could have been avoided. And I was like, you kind of deserve that. However, Morgan, constantly getting reminded that the fucking Young Avengers are going to be a thing. And like, it's even more in my face in this movie, and it fucking sucks. I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Literally, when stuff was happening, he's walking away. It was so funny because I was just like, I'm like, Luke's gonna be so pissed at me. And like, he already is. Luke's already pissed at me because I called Young Avengers. For anybody in chat who doesn't know, I called it like way early before it was like in your fucking face that Young Avengers was happening. And I remind him every movie, and it pisses.
Oh, we need the
has
Avengers to come back. What are we gonna get to do? It's fucking new. Stop! Fuck you! Stupid! Bullshit!
Wow.
Literally though,
Tom.
I leaned over to Dan and I'm like, Luke is gonna yell at me about knowing that the Young Avengers is coming. And
I
like
can't
my
fucking
whole
stand
call
it.
out, like
I
he's
really
gonna be
can't.
so pissed at me.
It's annoying.
It's not even my fault. I just saw it.
No, you put that energy out there. Fuck you. This is your fault.
It's not my fault. I just could read it and you couldn't.
I'll tell you what though. If New Cap is the leader, alright, sweet. Like that's fine. I'm cool with that.
We'll see.
But like everybody else,
Unless he
fuck
dies.
out of here. Just fuck out of here. All right. Where were we?
Well, you're leading the review, so we got our
All
thoughts.
right. So we're cool. We're all cool with New Falcon.
Yeah,
guess.
I don't mind him. Like he was annoying at times,
It's
but
not in denial. Morgan made it happen.
yeah, like I do think that his character currently, like in this film, had some times where I'm like, okay, bro, just cool your jets, right? You're
Why
you're
does
getting a
his
little
costume
annoying.
look so shitty? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I was like,
Costume was
literally, I was like,
whack.
they're like, oh, it's the old Falcon costume. I was like, the old Falcon costume didn't look that bad, did it?
The
No,
Falcon costume was
it-
nothing. It was basically nothing in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was
but
saying.
it doesn't have a color scheme or anything, right?
But
No,
I
it
wonder
really didn't.
because like the helmet did give me Ant-Man vibes, and they kept making Ant-Man jokes. So I wonder if it was maybe given
I
to
love that.
maybe they
he's
were
an Ant-Man
maybe they were
fan.
given to maybe it was part of their tech.
No, I love the Ant-Man jokes. I loved that.
That's
No
fun.
one has let him live that down yet.
I mean, I like that. Sam has the Wakanda suit. Like that's awesome.
That was I loved that.
Yes. Oh wait, I have to tell y'all something in the theater because later in the movie where something may or may not have happened to the suit, or even when Ramirez was like, "Hey, can I get some tech as well?" I literally know, like me and Raven were talking about what happened, and it's like, he'll be fine. He got Wakanda's on speed dial.
Yeah, right.
Literally, what he says later, and she looked at me like, "Guy said I called it. I told you." That was
good,
funny.
good.
Oh, that's why. Giancarlo Esposito. Your name.
So
Fine, but
I'll
nothing
go
special.
last. I'll go last.
But
I don't have a problem with him necessarily. He's kind of there. Like he was a little bit all over marketing because I think a lot of people just like Mr. Esposito. But for what it's worth, he's there, and I don't not care because I like what he does with the character, I suppose, because he's a good actor and everything like that. But nothing too much I can say about him. I do like this. I like that interrogation scene he has with Sam, though. I do like that scene.
that's fun. I don't. Excuse me. I'm with you. I don't need him. That's cool that he's here, but I'm hoping because I think he's good in every scene that he's in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excuse me, even though he's not in it too much. I hope he gets to do it again down the line
Oh, he
with
will.
somebody. I really hope he does because that whole character and the stuff that he was doing, and like when he dodged the shield the first time, I was like, well, oh, like you got moves like that? Like who are you? I'm not familiar with him. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but like I want to be.
So Esposito has already kind of teased that he will be reappearing sooner rather than later.
Thunderbolts.
But I will
I hope.
say he was not the original actor cast for
He's
Sidewinder.
part of reshoots, right?
Yeah, he was strictly brought on by reshoots, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel it.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it. Like Esposito, he's a great actor. I think he did well. But I can tell he was part of reshoots and like it was originally supposed to be, I believe, someone from the WWE who was supposed to be this character originally.
Seth Rollins.
Yes. It was supposed to be him initially, and then the reshoots happened, and I feel it. I can really tell that this film had to go through reshoots, and I think honestly that's where even more glaring problems come out with the script writing of this film for me. There's parts that feel disjointed, and I feel like they casted Esposito because he's a really good face to put on the poster. And he probably also got a really nice check for it. Not that I dislike him. I think he did well. I like him as an actor, but that's just kind of the vibe I get because they're like, oh shit, we got to reshoot. Let's get us somebody who's going to fill the seats.
Yeah,
Mm.
I do hope he gets another shot, and like if it's gonna be that soon, then I'm anticipating to see him at least a little bit in Thunderbolts. But yeah, he definitely does enough, and they do enough to get him from point A to point B, and I do like how it does kind of come back. But yeah, no, if I could have had more of him, that would have been sweet.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think it made sense for this storyline to get more of him, though.
No.
Yeah, I feel like he played his part, and then all right, it's fine.
Okay, I saved this one for last on purpose. Actually, no, that's a lie. We have one more. Tim Blake Nelson. He plays the master,
The leader.
the leader.
I
Yeah, it's the leader.
straight out laughed my ass off seeing Tim Blake Nelson because this man for me is always going to be the weird camp counselor from Holes. So just like in me, I had a good chuckle that it was him. I think he did really well. I liked this like weird disposition he had. However, I have issues actually with his costume and his design. We've seen such amazing visual effects. Look at Thanos, and now look at him. Like, come on, guys. Like,
Okay, so for
and,
me,
and I've had this isn't the first area I've had issues with the visual effects, practical or not practical, in this film. I had a couple areas where I'm like, come on, guys, you have the budget for it. What's happening?
it's just weird because it feels like they half-assed it, and
Yeah,
I would have
absolutely.
been. I was anticipating and I was ready, and it probably would have looked equally as silly or whatever. But like, if they would have actually done it and gave him the big brain like he's supposed to have,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been fucking ridiculous looking. But like, I could have got behind it. What they gave us is just bad. Like, I don't like
agree.
it. I want to like it. I really do, but
I like
I don't know
him.
what the fuck they were
I don't
doing.
like how he looks.
Exactly. He is awesome in this role. He's actually pretty fucking menacing in a couple shots,
Yeah.
but then like they show me a little too much, and I go, "What the fuck are you
Facts.
thinking?"
You let me see too much of the head. Like in the beginning, they were purposely like doing the really dark shots so you couldn't
Yeah.
see things, and they wanted you to try to guess who it was and figure it out. That's fine. But then, like, I wish they kept it all dark after I finally got to see the full reveal of him. I was like, no wonder it was dark. It's probably when you weren't done.
Or give me the giant head. Give me the giant head.
Yeah, if you're gonna make
Just
it
do
look
it.
dumb, like look at what's his face in Ant-Man, Quantumania.
Haven't gotten there yet.
MODOK.
MODOK. Like, we already fucking laughed our asses off and accepted MODOK. Like, give me his big ass head.
I did not accept MODOK.
Okay, I didn't accept it, but I am amused by MODOK.
There's an animated show with MODOK on Hulu that's way better.
I would like to say Leader looked way better than MODOK. I'll say that for one.
Yeah.
Two, have you guys seen the concept
that's
art that he was supposed to look like?
Nope. But I'm gonna look at it right
That
now.
looked a lot. That's a lot better, actually. Three, yeah, I agree with you. Tim Blake Nelson did a great job as Leader, actually, and I am so happy he's here because I have literally waited since 2008 for that to go somewhere. I am so happy they brought that. Oh, that's also going to lead into the one of my issues with the movie. But I'll stay with the fact that I thought Leader in this was good, or should I just call him Samuel Stearns?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the concept art. Why didn't you go with that? It looks so much better than the stupid brain head thing.
Well, okay, so that's one of the, and Anthony, please get back. I'm gonna let you get back to your point, but like we can feel the reshoots and we can feel that there was something else going on here. That is another that's another glaring example for me that was a thing. And then throwing in like the whole storyline with Sidewinder and the Leader just kind of doesn't really fit. And like it would have just make it a Leader story. It's Captain America up against the Leader going into the other thing that we'll talk about in a second. But like, the whole Sidewinder thing takes away from Tim Blake Nelson as the Leader, which like I would have rather had more of. Like one or the other.
Yeah, I feel like it's just they felt like they wanted to introduce Sidewinder for later films.
So real quick, and then Anthony, please take over. I wonder if fucking Seth Rollins' acting is just that bad or something, or they had to do something, and it sucks because I do like Seth Rollins, but like they definitely, I feel like they had a movie almost ready to go, and then they were like, we really need to fucking fix this right now. God, that sucks.
You ask me, I think if that's the case, because I don't look at Seth Rollins saying he would put the same presence as Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe. I mean, maybe we can feel the reshoots, but I think there was a goodness to it.
But yeah, but like, is he bad? You know, he's not Giancarlo Esposito, but is he bad? I'm thinking the reshoots are everything more because he was kind of bad. Not,
Yeah, it could have happened.
I don't
mean,
think
and
this is
that's
a Back
totally
to the Future
possible.
situation where it's like, oh, bring in Nick Stahl, but we really want Michael J. Fox. Hey, Michael J. Fox is available now. All right, fuck you, Nick Stahl. I think it was like, you know, I don't think Seth's really cutting it. What can we do?
And that's possible, but I'm gonna be honest though. There are still from the reshoots, like whether that was the case or not, I should not have to feel. I'm like, I don't know. There's just something about the film that is like, I can see why the reshoots were needed, but then on the other side, I feel like the movie's getting a detriment because there were reshoots. So it's kind of like there's this uncomfortableness around that whole situation.
It's just that middle area for me with Sidewinder, where like
especially
it
the middle
area, because the start and the finish makes sense, but that middle area to get us there, it's like what happened? Anyway. Please.
Anyway. Oh yeah, because I would like to say that I actually didn't have a problem with how Leader and Sidewinder actually kind of interacted in a way, considering what Leader wants specifically.
Yeah,
which is actually kind of one of the big reasons why I like a certain character and why I like this movie a lot too, actually. But I was so happy to see him back. I like everything that they hinted at who it was. I was like, I get it. I was so happy. I was so happy to see that he was back, actually. So they're finally doing something there. Thank God. I thought that was just like never gonna be brought up again, which I'm glad that he did.
Okay, so while we talk about this actor's performance, if you want to talk about anything story related, now's the time to do it, because we've definitely covered, I think, all the key points. So now you can get in a story while you're talking about my man's performance. Harrison Ford. Who's going first?
Man.
Honestly, we all know Harrison, like, he's there for the paycheck, right? But I do want to say Harrison did a really good job. There are like, I think there were moments where specifically where you see him like having inner battles with himself, when it was more like watching his face and watching him like work through like almost like his inner dialogue and inner demons. I think he did very well with that. Now, I think in other situations, Harrison Ford was a little weak, but I don't necessarily blame that on Harrison. I blame that again on the lazy script writing.
Okay. I was a big fan of Harrison Ford in this. He played Ross very, very well. I think, like, you know what? Okay. Like, William Hurt did great. Don't get me wrong, too. But Harrison Ford, like, thumbs up. Especially those scenes where he's, like, having a battle with himself. And I was like, I know it's not happening yet, but I'm like, breathe, dude. Breathe. Hold on now. Yeah, don't breathe, Brad. Just take it easy. Maybe you shouldn't have been hunting Bruce. You should have been, learning some breathing techniques from Bruce.
The scene on the ship.
I know. There's moments I was like, okay, sun's getting real low, big guy.
I literally said the same shit. Also, I gotta go back to Sam Blake Nelson. His dialogue with Harrison Ford on the phone, I'm like, yeah. This man has some menace. Yeah. So I gotta give him that too. But the two things I really liked about him was the fact that like he says a lot like, I want to change, I want to be better for a specific person, but we know how hard it can be, and you keep fucking up, honestly. Like, even when this movie was, I was like, really? He's president? How the fuck did y'all let that happen? Seriously. And then I think to myself, oh yeah, we did let another certain person become president, so whatever. But so that was that. But after I watched him, like, damn, I really like that story because I like what Leader wanted out of Ross, considering like Ross fucked up way too many times in the past. And now he wants to kind of like redeem, like when he says, I want to start the Avengers again, like, motherfucker, it's your fault that they kind of became torn apart anyway. Like, I mean, you're not the full blame, but you were a big part of it, if you ask me. Like, big time.
All right, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I need to address something because we do stream both on Twitch and YouTube, and we do have people watching on YouTube and commenting. So I apologize to you guys. I forget that is the thing. We are talking to the Twitch streamers that have been commenting. If you can see it on the screen, I apologize. We were asked, which movie do we think will do better at the box office, Fantastic Four or Superman? Real quick. I'm going with Superman.
I actually might lean towards Superman too, actually.
Okay.
I'm doing Fantastic Four. It's just the vibe
I'm gonna
I got.
I think people are
curious enough.
Oh no, I'm gonna end up being right. I guarantee I'm gonna end up being right.
Do
And
any
then
of you know what Critical Drinker is?
yeah, I
I
do.
do not.
I am
I do
unfamiliar.
not.
So we are not fans of Critical Drinker just because we don't know what it is.
I
And
will
I'm gonna
look it
make
up
sure that
after,
I
though.
bounce back and forth in between here. So please, if you are watching on YouTube and you do comment, I promise we will get to you. I apologize. Twitch is just usually where we live. This is where everybody's kind of gotten used to us. We are branching out, and it's nice to see that you guys are watching and chatting
Our
with us. So
streams on YouTube are actually relatively new now that we have multi-streaming. So
yeah,
thanks for
but,
tuning in
thank
over
you
there,
very much.
guys.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. But it's definitely gonna be Superman. Anyway.
Anyway.
I fucking love Harrison Ford in this movie. I'm not even kidding. Harrison Ford,
Really
like,
good.
so it's one of those things where, like, if you watch, I mean, Mel Gibson is probably not a good dude, but if you watch him
No,
in
he's
his
not.
movies, and when he shows up, like, he's in Expendables 3, and everybody's acting kind of goofy, and then he shows up, and it's like what this movie is supposed to be. Like, that's how you want to act. You know what I mean? Harrison Ford, I got the same vibe. Like, everybody else, you can tell, is kind of used to doing this stuff, but Harrison Ford is like acting. Like, he's actually doing it, and like, I don't maybe it's for the paycheck or not, but my man looks like he's having the most fun, and I fucking love Harrison Ford's performance in this movie. I can't wait to see behind the scenes and see if he put on like a blue suit and fucking did some of the Hulk motions.
He did.
I want that's amazing. God, that's so cool.
I didn't finish my thoughts though. Actually, before
you're good. That's all I wanted. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Because I left off on talking about how the fact that Ross had kind of fucked up a lot of times in the MCU, making really bad and I want to say stupid to us choices. Like, maybe in the world it sort of makes more sense, but when we really think about it outside of the movie, we're like, dude, no, just no, actually. And the fact that, like, that scene on the warship where he talks to Sam about like why everything is like happening and like why Lita's really mad at him, like, that was actually my favorite scene with him. Actually, I loved that scene a lot.
Yeah, so this movie is like it's and I wish they would have leaned into this more instead of adding that extra middle shit, because this is a lot of them tying up some loose ends from previous movies, and I dig that. Like, we didn't even, is it in the trailer? Is the metal in the trailer?
Here's the thing. I don't think it was, but they announced that. So I knew that before I even saw the movie.
I didn't, and it caught me off guard, and I dug it. They introduced adamantium in this movie, so that's fucking sweet. And they tie that to the Eternals with the celestial being coming out of the fucking ground. There's a bunch of throwbacks to the Incredible Hulk. There's a lot of loose ends and things that we've talked about. What are they going to do with that? They kind of start to throw that in here and start to tie some shit up. So I like that, and I'm glad that we are acknowledging the Incredible Hulk, because I enjoy that movie.
Oh, I do too. That's like one of my low-key favorite MCU movies.
Facts.
So
that was cool.
But yeah, Harrison Ford as Ross is spectacular. That scene on the warship is my favorite. But then of course,
I'm sorry, but for him to come in after William Hurt has done this, had done it for almost over 10 years, and to come in, and I'm not going to say he's seamless, particularly with the cameo that we got, but he plays a fantastic Thaddeus Ross.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done. Thank you.
All right. And then, of course, the other reason everyone was excited for Ross in this movie. Okay, I'm not going to lie. There is a YouTuber named Cosmonaut Variety Show who I nerd-wise hate. But he had one good point, and I think might have been spot on why the reviews on this movie might have been a little lower. Because let me ask y'all, how would y'all feel if we never knew Red Hulk was here?
It would have been, I've already had this discussion, and it was literally, I said this, leaving the theater, it would be a whole 1.5 point rating higher if I didn't know Red Hulk was a thing and it was revealed to me in the movie.
Oh, if I went into it just not knowing he was in it, not him not being in it, but not right. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I already, because of the comics, but I mean, it would have been nice. It would have been nice to not know. It would have.
Like, when I see the moment of his eyes getting red, but him calming, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I know what's coming now. But instead, that hype was gone because I saw it in the trailer. Genuinely, a whole 1.5 higher if I didn't see it in the trailer.
I still had the hype, and I don't think it affected my score. And like the build up was so good to get me, which is why, like, Sidewinder and all that other shit. I don't need it. If the whole thing is just to get there, that weird shit in the middle. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up, but like it's kind of glaring. We don't need it. We could still get there. And it was so good what they did with the leader and Thaddeus Ross.
Mm-hmm.
See, for me, that was also like, okay, I know it's coming, but again, the build up to it is like, dude, breathe. Like, we're not gonna get him a lot earlier, are we? No.
Yeah.
Like, breathe.
Right?
Like, I knew it was coming, but I was still into it. I liked it still. But if I didn't know that, by the time, like that first time where he's kind of like getting really mad and he like smashes his fist in the table, I'd have looked at Raven like, wait a minute, leaders. No, it can't be. And then like later when his eyes were, it's like, oh my god, they're doing it.
I think it would have been sick if he would have changed on the warship.
Yeah, that'd have been interesting.
That would have been fucking sick. I'm glad that they didn't do it. I'm glad that they held off.
They probably didn't want to because they didn't want to feel like it was Kong versus Godzilla all over again.
Damn it, Morgan! I was thinking the same fucking shit.
Yo, their fight scene too, like that whole stuff was cool. That is worth watching the movie right there, in my opinion.
Except for when Sam's trying to talk him down, and this like the CG behind Sam looks like fucking trash.
There was a couple of rough moments, particularly for me, that and when he first turned.
Yeah, but like when they are literally, he's standing there. You see the rubble behind like Sam, and like like Sam looks out of place. Where because obviously Harrison Ford being Red Hulk is completely CG'd. He looks actually like he belongs there, and then Sam just looks like it was just like, come on, guys. Like your reshoot is showing, and your budget is like, what the fuck?
Maybe.
Like you guys have a budget. It shouldn't be looking like this. With you have giving us the Marvel standards that you have given us, it shouldn't be looking like this.
Nah, I think there is I hope it changes, but I think there is CGI heavy. Like just is very now.
Wait, are we back?
Who did it?
I don't know what happened, guys.
Whoa, okay, I thought I was looking at internet for a sec.
No.
Shit.
Yeah, can you start over with what you were talking about, Luke? We've never had that go like.
What was the last thing I even said?
Just everything that you were talking about with the fight.
My God! All right, I was getting into it too, and then like the best part about it is like I'm in my fucking rant, right? And I see him freeze, but I see you freeze, but he's still good. So I'm like, all right, maybe we're still good. And then he fucking freezes, and I went, oh fuck, nobody heard anything I said.
Unfortunately, not. I just heard that.
So yeah, basically what I was getting at
but
is
I
think it is. Oh, that's what it was. I think there is an initiative to kind of scale these movies back. I think that this is probably going to be the most CGI heavy movie. I don't think there's going to be as much CGI in Fantastic Four besides the Thing. I think there's going to be a lot more sets to kind of maybe set pieces to kind of keep away from using CGI. And then by the time we get to Galactus, that's when we'll be able to CGI. And then Thunderbolts, it's fucking Suicide Squad, so there's probably not going to be that much in there either. But I think that is a conscious effort because these movies aren't making as much as they did.
Probably so.
I mean, that's because that's their fault. That is their fault.
But I don't think it has anything to do with the CGI. I think it has to do with the storytelling and the multiverse in general.
Yeah, but it's not making the money because of the choices that the Marvel studio is making.
Right. So I'm thinking scale back the CGI, a little bit more on the story. This one is a toss-up in whether or not you want to say the story is good or not, because it has a bit of both.
There's glaring problems in this.
And then we'll get into Suicide Squad, or not Suicide Squad, fucking Thunderbolts.
I mean,
and we'll see.
They are basically.
But But I think as these movies go, so will the budgets, and the CGI will stop being
Sure.
so subpar in areas. Because you're right, it is from going from Endgame to this. It's like, come on, guys, are you even trying? But
And that aside, though, coming from like Endgame to this story and the glaring story issues, like my problem is with this story is we have plot points that are common knowledge to characters like Sam. We already know about the brainwashing. That's what the Captain America Winter Soldier was all about with Bucky. Like, there's just like my whole thing is like this film is hurt by the laziness because there's information that shouldn't have had to been explained or researched. There's so many problems in terms of like this stuff is already known, not even by just Sam, but this should be known by this is known by the government now. Like, why are these problems happening, and why is this problem happening in the script and the story? And is it to pad and give us more time? Probably, but it's fucking lazy.
I actually didn't have a lot of problems with the story because I actually really like the story.
I don't either. I have a problem with like that middle area, but the fact that it's a Thaddeus Ross movie anyway with Captain America in it. It's about wrapping up the Incredible Hulk. Why Hulk isn't in it, I don't know, but that's really what it's about here.
Save that actually for a second, because I'll get into that in a minute. Because for one, before we had the quality issue, I didn't finish my thoughts on Red Hulk. Actually, I still have stuff to say. Actually,
go ahead.
Well, for one, I would like to say that Harrison Ford as Hulk looks really fucking good. Like, surprisingly good. He looks mean and angry.
No, he does. I agree with you. I liked him a lot as Red Hulk.
I was looking with like, does he look better than Green Hulk? I don't want to say that. That feels a little blasphemous, but at the same time, like, this man looks mean.
That's because that's where all their CG budget went to.
But I'm not even.
Hold on, Harrison Ford.
No, that's what I'm getting at. It's Harrison Ford. It's not even the CG. It's like, no, this man looks angry. Mark Ruffalo always looked.
He does. He never looks
angry, but I don't even know how to describe that. This dude just looks like
Harrison Ford's older and has more life experience to be mad about. That's just what
I'm fuck that. That's stupid. That's stupid. Because even in Avengers, like when he is a rageful monster, he still doesn't even look like that. You know what I mean? It's a weird combination of like comic Hulk with Mark Ruffalo. They just said Harrison Ford, just look angry, we'll do the rest. And like my God, they did a great job.
I remember telling Raven, like, I think he looks mad, or like he got that old man rage in him right now.
See? Old man rage.
Oh, I was gonna say, I like his transformation too. Well, at first it looked a little funky, but eventually it got pretty good. I wish they dove more into the fact that when he gets angry, he gets hotter. I wanted them to do more about that, actually.
Get like the menopause steam coming off of him.
Just the fact that he sets his surroundings on fire, actually.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
that.
Yeah,
that's a comic thing, actually, too.
I forgot about that.
The fight between the two, like, again, I really like that he doesn't have the serum. He's like, I'm just doing my best here to fight a fucking Hulk, actually. But going back to what you were kind of talking about, like why there's no regular Hulk, that is the actual biggest issue I have with this movie. I like that we finally got a follow-up to Samuel Stearns, and I like seeing Red Hulk and everything. But again, everyone said like this is practically a sequel to the Incredible Hulk, but no Hulk. And I'm like, Marvel, why did y'all fuck the Hulk up so much? Why? Like, isn't Leader his arch nemesis?
Yeah.
Like we got Leader, we have Red Hulk, and guys, I mean, I know there's a rights issue with Universal and everything like that too, but
no, but they do this all the time, man. They do this all the time. They take somebody else's story and insert a different hero in it. They do it all the time. I don't understand why. It is annoying, but like, hey man, at least they still acknowledge that the movie happened and that these characters are here, and we finally give them something to do. The only bummer is that it's not William Hurt. I don't necessarily think that William Hurt could do a better job than Harrison Ford or anything like that, but it's the payoff, man. It's like watching the first 3 original Spider-Man movies and you see Kirk Connors and nothing happens to Kirk Connors until the fucking next one when it's not even the same dude. That is annoying. So I am bummed out that's not William Hurt. It's unfortunate that we lost him, but you know.
Yeah, what else can you do about that, I suppose?
They still killed it. They still killed it.
I will say this too. I don't know if William Hurt could pull off a really mean looking red. Shut up. I don't know if he could have pulled off a really mean looking Red Hulk. Like Harrison Ford, when he's not Hulk, that man has a mean face. I'm like, I believe he's angry. William Hurt's face never screamed rage.
Yeah, that whole like with the heart and shit. It was cool. It was very, very well done. I'm glad that they at least nailed that. Like the Incredible Hulk storyline, they nailed. The Captain America storyline, I don't know. It's up to you. It's fine.
I think the one thing I can forgive about this being a Cap movie, not a Hulk movie, is I do like the kind of investigation of everything and how everything's like coming out. Yes. And I think one of the biggest things I really like about this movie too is what Leader's plan is. Like, I don't want to kill you. I mean, if I kill Cap, fine, because you're in the way. Like, no, I'm more about Ross. You fucked me over. You did enough wrong. Like, I'm gonna like show the world who you really fucking are. And then, of course, ironically, turn you to the thing you were once hunting to your own damn heart attack.
It's just another classic case of the villain was right.
Yeah, this is the villain. Like, no, I'm not even mad. And like, of course, some people died because of you, and that's not good. But like, I know, I get it. I get why you're so mad because fuck you, Ross. Like, even I'm in the movie thinking like, I don't like you. But even when he has that break, like that moment on the warship, I'm like, I still don't like you, but I get it still. That's, I think, the big thing. Like, I get both sides of this. And it's unfortunate that Sam's, like, the synopsis, like, he's caught in the middle of it, just trying to help a friend out.
Well, and that's the thing, because if you think about it, if Captain America doesn't get involved, maybe not as many people die.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, if he just does whatever the fuck he's told to do, we still get to the same point. There's just less kerfuffle.
Sorry about that. But so yeah, Red Hulk was really cool. Even though like maybe there's a part of me is like, what is wrong with me right now? Hold on a second.
I don't know, what is wrong with you?
You ever had that feeling when you have to burp but you're afraid to because you feel like something else might come up? Yeah, I got that going on right now. Anyway, there is a part of me is like, maybe if they never revealed Red Hulk, this would be a lot cooler.
It's hard to use.
But hell no.
I don't think it would.
No.
Might make us go viral on TikTok though.
No, I don't want to go viral for that. I want to go viral because you guys caught me fucking or something. Shit.
Not on this show.
Oh my goodness, Jesus.
Not on this show, sir.
Anyway, well, like I was saying,
where we fuck, but we don't.
Please, family show my ass.
Anyway, getting back on track.
Wait, hey, let me finish my thought because like I said, maybe there's a part of me that says if they didn't show Red Hulk in the promotion, things would be maybe go smoother with some people. But I still liked that. I liked watching the build up to it. I was like, I know it's coming, but like I'm excited to see why it's happening and everything.
Yeah, but like I just would have liked it. I would have, not that I didn't like the build up because I really did. I think they did that very well. Like, hats off to Harrison Ford. He did that fantastic. However, I think I would have enjoyed it even more if I didn't know Red Hulk was coming.
So it works for me because it's not just a middle of the movie thing, which is what I thought. Considering he is in the trailer, I thought it would just be something that they did in the middle. We would just move on and all right, cool, Red Hulk, bye, Red Hulk. It's the ending. Yeah, it's the ending. The end of the fucking movie. That's fantastic. They made me wait, and they did a good job of making me wait.
That is actually what I thought about too, because I thought this was going to be the middle of the fight movie, and when I saw the trailer, I thought the aerial battle at the Celestial was the final fight.
Yeah.
And funny enough, it's reversed. But it worked in the narrative too, because like, okay, everything Leader tried hasn't exactly worked. Like, war didn't happen and everything like that. So let's go with this one. Like, I didn't want it to come to this, but all right, let's go this direction instead.
Yep.
So that, I'm with you, Luke. That worked for me big time. Although I think there's there's an alternate version of how that ended with another specific character showing up, which I think would have worked a lot better.
I can't wait to see it on the Blu-ray. Is there anything else, or do we want to score?
Is there anything else I wanted to bring up? Wait, hold on. I gotta think because I feel like there was something else I wanted to bring up, but I don't remember.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it, and then we'll do you last on the score, and then you can talk about it.
Gotcha.
All right.
And actually, not thinking about it, I don't think there was anything. Oh, how do we feel about fucking other Black Widow? Other Black Widow.
She's like 3 feet tall.
So Dan said the same thing. I don't mind a small queen. I'm a small queen. But my problem is like my problem is she felt out of place the majority of the film. I actually was expecting her to be a bad guy when we first saw her on the screen. And I
Same.
like, or maybe she was in league with fuck, what was his name?
That is Shira
Cleaner.
Haas, by the way.
With Sidewinder, sorry. I was almost, maybe she's in league with Sidewinder. I don't know. But I don't dislike her. I like her more as the movie goes on. However, I still have my problems with her. And I can't quite place why I wasn't a big fan of her. I like the idea, though, of us getting more Black Widows, especially with what we saw in the Black Widow film. That should have been way sooner in the franchise than it was.
True. Underrated movie, though.
Yeah, very underrated. But I like the thought of like we have a Black Widow being like the right hand, like protector man to the president. That's pretty dope. It makes a lot of sense. So I'm hoping maybe we get to see other like widows now that they've kind of been liberated. So I like the idea. I'm not in love with Shira Haas as this Black Widow. And I think, and again, I think part of it was also like she gave me a little bit of vibes of like come in, be the badass, kind of like we got with Scarlett Johansson, but it didn't quite pay it forward enough. She felt a little out of place maybe in terms of sizing on screen. Not that I mind that, because again, I'm short. It's hard. It's a struggle. You know, it is what it is. But I think part of the problem was also her dialogue and going back again to the lazy script writing.
Yeah, I think she's just another thing that didn't need to be there. I mean, she doesn't hurt the movie, but like
She's just there.
She's just there.
All right. Well, other than that, also the post-credit scene is lame.
Post-credit scene is
God,
lame.
yeah, very.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it is because it's lead up. It's lead up. So I like that it's moving the plot forward. I'm cool with it.
I guess it was just lame
Apparently.
because of how they did it and the fact that they're just telling us shit we already knew.
Fair. That's fine. That's the internet's fault, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess so. All right. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Neither do I. So who wants to go first?
Complaining about the script. So please go ahead.
I say Raven. I say Morgan goes first. Sorry, I'm thinking about wife.
Okay, Morgan, go first.
I'm a 6.5. Again, I don't hate this film, but I don't love it either. There was a lot of good in here, but there was a lot of problems, and my biggest problem of them all is the lazy script writing. There is certain things that were happening that were common knowledge for the characters in this fucking world that shouldn't even be questions. I think like jumping the gun to, all right, you know what, this Bradley's definitely, you know, X super serum dude, probably, you know, has been potentially brainwashed before, like Bucky, but you know what, death penalty, no investigation, soft investigation, but let's kill the dude, like
Racism.
You know, and they do tackle those notes for sure, but it's just it kept falling flat in areas for me with the story, because it's like, but there's information in the world about his sort of situation and the type of man he is because of the super serum that should have you being, well, pause on the death sentence. Maybe we should investigate this harder. And I think that's where a lot of my problems are, is like you're trickling in all of this really important Marvel information, and you're doing callbacks to things that need to be called back, because we're all like, where the hell are these, like, when are you going to wrap up these plot lines? But I do think there is a lot of lazy script writing for the sake of, let's move the story along, let's pad out the story a little bit, and I think there's a lot of depth that this film is lacking, instead of them being like, okay, we know this is a problem. I think it would have been better to have these conversations. Like, we know that this is a situation with super serum soldiers. We know this and that, but we don't get that. Obviously, there's some design choices that I dislike, but for the most part, I do think this is a pretty good film. But I saw the Red Hulk. It would have been better if I didn't see the Red Hulk in the trailer. And it would have been an 8 if I didn't see Red Hulk.
Okay. Yeah, seeing the Red Hulk does not bother me that much. This is 7.5 for me, and that half is strictly on the back of Red Hulk. Like, straight up. This is honestly, the fact that Hulk isn't in here, I think I agree is a detriment. But I do enjoy Cap in this movie. I do enjoy how Anthony Mackie plays Cap. I do enjoy how Cap is portrayed in general in the movie because like they whoop his ass quite a bit. Like he doesn't. Obviously, he wins, but he's still getting his ass kicked, and they're throwing a lot at him, and it's a lot that he himself, Sam Wilson, shouldn't be able to kind of do or be able to compete against, but he does. And I do enjoy that they gave me that with Captain America. And then you throw in the stuff with the Hulk and giving me that follow up with Thaddeus Ross and the leader. And they're both, Tim Blake Nelson and Harrison Ford, fucking bring it in this movie. There is definitely a shitty design with Tim Blake Nelson, but he's still really fucking good in this movie. And if anybody wants to see him be that type of dude, or that type of character, watch The Watchmen, the show. He plays a character that is very similar, and he's just as good. Yeah, 7.5 for me. The half is definitely because of the Red Hulk, and I enjoyed that very, very much.
I am a solid 8. I genuinely like this movie. Like, genuinely. The only issue I had was just the Hulk thing of, like, not a Hulk movie, but I genuinely like it. I like Anthony Mackie as Cap. I like all the characters. Morgan, to respond to some of the stuff you were talking about, for me, I guess that doesn't bother me because for one, they do in the movie figure out what's actually happening. But I think I like that because it still shows that Ross still isn't making good choices, which kind of still makes you think, well, are you really cheating or not? Because like, hey, I don't want to come out.
I think it would have been the opposite because I think it would have been more impactful. He should know this information already. And if he's still making the choices he was making, even shows, bro, do you really even care? Like, yeah. There's just, but I think it would have been even heavier if they didn't play it like people were fucking dumb. You're not dealing with dumb people.
I don't think they're playing dumb. It's just like everybody has a plan.
No, the script writers are.
Plan is, well, even in the movie, like Thaddeus thinks he's got everything figured out, and then he slowly finds out he does not. Not only does he not have it figured out, the dude that he thought he had under control is not under control, and that dude is playing everybody, and that's how he ends up being president. He like reinvented his image, and then the whole movie is, we're gonna tear that away, and he is forced into being the guy that he was before. So like, I get that, I understand all that, and I think they did it very, very well. And that absolutely sucks when you're working really hard to do something and somebody can just come in and just take the rug out from under you. Fucking blows.
So anyway, yeah, but this movie, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is officially going in my list of underrated MCU movies. And earlier, Gar the Funk asked, where did I rank this among other Cap movies? Okay, now here comes my hot take, but I need you guys to understand something real quick, okay? It doesn't mean I disliked the movie, but I have never loved The Winter Soldier. I thought it was good. It's the movie that made me like Cap. Don't get me wrong. Let me rephrase that. It made me like Steve Rogers because I always found him boring. And of course it was the introduction to Falcon. But I never loved it like everybody else. Civil War is still my favorite for hype reasons, actually. But if I'm being real, I low-key might like this a little better than Winter Soldier. Like, I would watch this again before I watch Winter Soldier. I haven't watched Winter Soldier in who knows how long. I haven't even watched a scene from that damn movie in who knows how long. So that's going to be my hot take. Like, I really did mess with Brave New World. I really did. So, yeah, there's my rating. And, yeah, this is going up there with Incredible Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp. What else do I find underrated as hell? Shang-Chi, like, in this is officially like, yep, I think this is an underrated project.
Yeah, now this is the third best Cap movie that I've seen. It's the first one, Winter Soldier, in this for me. Fuck Civil War.
Oh, you're not a fan of Civil War?
What are the films? We have
just the Captain films.
It's the first
Avenger,
Winter Soldier, Civil War, Brave New World.
I think this is last.
I honestly figured that. I'm not gonna be real. First one's last because I still actually haven't watched the first one.
Really? I
still haven't gotten around to that.
Get it together. All right. Anything else, my peoples?
I just fucked with this movie hardcore. Hell, me and Raven, we were like hype watching it. Like we were having so much fun.
Excellent. I had a great time as well. Morgan had an okay time. Morgan
Listen,
I did have
listen,
to try to
I
explain
had
the giant
fun.
celestial.
I just got extremely like I have problems with the script writing. It's not the actors, it's the script writing.
That's honestly fair. I can see cracks in it, but I feel like the cracks didn't fully bother me.
Yeah.
And also, I did have to try to explain why the hell a celestial was in the middle of the ocean, which even though I didn't see Eternals, I was trying my best to explain that.
I mean, you're gonna have to decide for yourselves on Eternals, but as you can hear, that is my alarm. So if we're good, before it gets even weirder, I'm gonna call it a day. You guys good?
Okay. I was like, what the hell did that come from? Morgan, when did you get a dog? What happened to Owen?
That's funny is Owen's right here meowing his ass off at me.
All right, so before it gets too crazy, everybody, thank you for stopping in and hanging out with us over on Twitch and YouTube. And for the record, in case you didn't know, you can watch us on Twitch and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us wherever. We'll have more updates as they go. I'm hoping by next week I have
Facebook
a
and
huge
Blue
announcement.
Sky, by the way.
I hope next week I have a huge announcement that I can divulge on here. I'm looking forward to that. But my house is getting full. It's going to get louder here. So I'm going to cut this just a little short. Everybody's been amazing. Thank you for all the chat that you guys did both on Twitch and YouTube. YouTube, I promise we will acknowledge you sooner. You're all fantastic. Everybody have a great night. For Morgan especially, do not forget the popcorn. Tune in next week.
Don't forget the popcorn. Otherwise, you will turn into a Red Hulk.
Peace out, everybody.